And yeah, I think it's clear Kabam has heard this. They see this, and they know you're seeing this too. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, today, yes, we are going to be covering basically the Summoners Fest. What I'm hoping to learn, I'm going to cover a little bit about the boycott. It was at your advice and from people on Discord saying, like, look, let's not cover it in every single video. I didn't want to do that anyways, but maybe do like every 2 weeks or a month, like a synopsis, and like, here's where we stand. And I think, I actually live streamed today, and I think it's clear a lot of you believe like this seems to be making a difference. So we're going to continue on with that. Now, Summoners Fest is coming up, and here's what I'm kind of hoping to learn, kind of hoping to know, and tying that in together. They're literally collecting all of us there. And a couple of things before we get fully into it is one is, guys, I'm aware that some of the players who qualified for the top 8 aren't able to be there for the Battle on Brawl. What I want to take a second and say is whether you're frustrated with Kabam or not, keep in mind that the players that are there are literally still some of the best players in the world. They would kick my butt in Battlegrounds, and aside from 8 of you, probably kick your butt too. Cheer them on. Cheer them on. It is one of the most fun parts of a very, very fun event. I think Kabam's going to put on a heck of a show, but cheer on those competitors. If you have frustration with Kabam, aim it towards Kabam, not towards those 8 competitors. They are phenomenal. They deserve to be there. They are performers putting on a show for you. They want to win. Cheer on them very, very, very loudly, especially Cantona. That's who I will be cheering for. Member of the Illuminati, really been incredibly helpful. And I really appreciate that. So cheer them all on. I just really wanted to get that across before we get too far into that. Now, do I expect Kabam to handle and talk about all these things? No, I don't. But I would love to hear about it. They're getting all this there together. They've got multiple panels and side panels and these sorts of things. And I will be doing my best to cover what they put out from their live streams, provide a synopsis for it. I'm going to be interested in it myself too, and getting that out for you. So here's where we stand. And yes, you have my word. I said this. I'm honestly doing this for our relationship. I don't want to act like I'm doing it for you per se. I think that's over dramatizing it, but I'm doing this for this relationship. That's what my channel has been about for a long time. I gave up my creator code, which is bringing in a significant sum of money. When you see someone give that up, that I just need you to know that is a lot of money. And I'm not the only person who's given it up lately. Okay. And two, leaving the CCP, it makes content creation on this game significantly more difficult. So again, I'm doing that for our relationship, prioritizing that. So that will not be changing in November. I don't care what Kabam announces at Summoners Fest. I do not care. We will not be spending on Cyber Weekend. And yeah, I think it's clear Kabam has heard this. They see this, and they know you're seeing this too. Okay. What is number one? Number one, it does not matter. This needs to be addressed. Is the AI. It needs to be the AI. And I want to be clear. I'm not saying I want the AI to always do what I want it to do. That would become unfun too. The AI does need to have some unpredictability to it. It is my understanding that I think about over a year ago, somewhere in the last 12 to 24 months, Kavan made a post about rebuilding AI 2.0, that the current AI was like a frame perfect button decider or something. I don't know. And I'm not trying to make fun of them. My point is like, because of CCP, because of various relationship stuff, I know things that I don't know what's public, what's not public. But what's important is that Kabam has said that they are trying to fix it. They are trying to build AI 2.0. It is very clear to me that the AI, at least in Battlegrounds, has been changed each of the last 2 months. It is very, very clear. Snap lights, unfortunately, have gotten worse. However, on the positive side, the defender doesn't immediately throw an SP3 when they hit it, which I think adds some fun. That's that RNG where, yeah, I realize that sounds like, oh, you just want to benefit. What I'm saying is like, if sometimes RNG is going to go against me, sometimes it needs to go with me. And the big problem with that was that that was supposed to be the fix for the Silk Lock, which had knock-on effects for other champions like Titania, which just, I think, is a horrible bad look for the game. Okay. So I want AI 2.0. I personally would prefer if they hired some guru, some amazing AI person who's worked on it for other games to come in and fix it for MCoC. Short of that, I want to hear and see it announced it is live in game. Until then, I really don't know if the rest of these things would get me to end the boycott without it, because especially for competitive play. Like, I've just stopped all competitive play. My War Alliance and War Ratings were in Tier 3. We finished in Platinum 3, so that's pretty competitive, but I'm talking about, like, Tier 1, trying to even hit, like, Mysterium and Battlegrounds. I'm like, I just don't wanna do it. It's unenjoyable for a variety of reasons, and not spending has actually made the game fun again. So, that's a weird, one that was pointed out on stream today. They're like, "I don't think Kabam wants to hear that." The fact is, it's actually true. And the AI, even if all the rest of the three things that we're going to talk about today were to get fixed, if the AI is not, and it's just continued to not be addressed in any way, shape, or form, I don't think I could end this boycott. And two is, I don't want to see, and this goes for every topic, I don't want to just see a roadmap saying, no, we hope to soon, or current plans are. No, no more of that. No more. No, none. Needs to be on January 1st of 2026, we will be implementing AI 2.0. You will be noticing us titrating things as things come up. Like, I don't expect it to be perfect right away. And my hope is that the last 2 months, we've actually been experiencing AI 2.0 and that they're messing with the buttons here. They're fine-tuning it. I would love to think that, but I need to know and see that. I need that. That has to happen. Because that is literally what we work with every single day as we play this game. That's why. Number 2 is the treatment of players. And for me, that has to go with, like, condescension in post. It has to do with, like, honestly, the gaslighting. I did a video this week as we prepared for all this to explain to you why the posts are so upsetting to me, but the stream was not. And a lot of this due to the treatment of players. Like, when there's gaslighting, when there's just, like, making stuff up, when there's, like, blaming us for the decision making, it's like, come on, that is a bunch of nonsense. And most of us know that and see right through it. And I will continue to point it out to my viewers if Kabam continues to do it. Because I think they need to know that, need to see that. They might not, the reason why people gaslight and they do these things is because it often works and it prevents them from having to address what was actually the error. Much like the Spider Woman situation. I ultimately didn't, I think she's getting buffed for me personally. I understand why you think she might be getting nerfed. But what was upsetting to me was that they clearly tried to gaslight us into taking away an offensive ability and then never addressed it again. I don't want to see that ever again. I don't want to see that anymore. There's no reason for that. There's no point for that. On the plus side, since I started my spending freeze and have gone through to the boycott, we've seen things like the Summon Symbiote incursions where Kabam messed up. There was a problem. But instead of, like, blaming players or coming up with some post that was clearly motivated to keep rewards low, they're like, oh, look, just go through again. They didn't reset the alliance rewards. I'm not looking to be overly rewarded from errors either. This is about being fair. They made the mistake. Don't come up with some, like, post that obviously is gaslighting. They didn't do that, and they just said the compensation package. They accidentally sent out 2. Some people said 3. I don't know. Instead of clawing those back and, like, banning some people. Remember when some people were banned who had done nothing wrong, but that was the solution while Kabam, like, fixed it all? It's like, no, they didn't do that. I understood it took them an extra week. I'm fine with that. Again, this isn't about being unreasonable and being punitive towards Kabam. This is about just be fair. Treat us players with respect. They sent out multiple compensations to everyone, and that was a big compensation. And that's since we started the spending freeze and moving on to the boycott. I really believe this is making a difference. I think it's making Kabam listen. I think you all, with your comments, your posts, your support of this is making a difference. One person's not going to make a difference. Unfortunately, we've gotten to the point where we had to make them listen. We didn't want that to happen, but here we are. There's been other things, and we talked about it on stream today, and Yusafa joined in, and I'm going to add in something. For me, this was kind of like point 3, but he referred to it and he put it under the umbrella of respect for players. And it made a lot of sense to me because I think that's why it bothers me so much. As he was brought up, Android, it feels like it is it is frequently Androids, and for some reason not Apple iOS. I don't know why. I play on an Apple phone and I use iOS, obviously, that has the overheating. My phone does overheat at times, but it feels like it's often the Androids that, like, are significantly overheating. Like, I don't think phones are literally melting, but they're figuratively melting, which is causing crashes, disconnects, and then they continue to do champions who look so great. Like Dust is an amazing, she is about as good as a champion should be in this game if it's truly going to be fair and balanced. She doesn't need all the extra in her art, and I know it looks glorious, I know it looks phenomenal, and I think this game is very beautiful, and I know that's part of selling a game, But when the art is so high and so detailed or refined or whatever it is that's causing this issue to overheat phones, to make boss fights like Lotan literally unplayable for people, to make the PC version of a game unplayable. If you played Dust, it just crashed the PC version. This is a version that Kabam spent a ton of time putting into it. I get it, and I understand why that is under the umbrella for someone like Yusafa for treatment of players. For me personally, I don't no, I don't think it matters. That is an important thing. This stuff needs to be dialed down. I understand there's gonna be bugs and updates. Apple is like a billion-dollar company. I live semi-close to their campus, okay? I've seen their spaceship of a campus, and I purposely don't update my iPhone immediately because I know it's gonna come with bugs. So, I'm gonna be reasonable. I don't expect Kabam to be perfect. This isn't about them being perfect. It's about them not making decisions that we all know ruin the performance of the game for a variety of players. And then 4, I'm not boycotting because of the magic box, magic key scenario, which is with like these brutal defenders, and then, like Spider-Man, Pavita Pavarkar, like he looks amazing. And here's the really interesting thing, and I'm not necessarily boycotting over this, but it's something I would like to see is since I'm no longer trying to hit Celestial or even Mysterium, since I'm not trying to get into tier 1, Masters tier war, and I've just let go of the magic box, magic key paradigm that Kabam has put forth and intensified over the last couple of years. They have power crept this game immensely over the last just literally 3 years. I don't know why, but they have. And so many people are not enjoying it. Battlegrounds is literally unfun. Current Gladiator circuit is unfun. One, because like I had to face a Betsy Braddock today, and I was like, I'm just going to die. The AI is out of control with its snap lights and its step backs, meaning intercepting is even more difficult. I'm just going to die. That's inherently unfun. Now, they've got to fix the AI like we talked about. And if they want to continue this magic box, magic key, or whatever, I'm just going to continue to not spend and enjoy the other parts of the game and enjoy it from a like casual competitive way, a knowledge information filled way, but just kind of go through and enjoy and put up guides for you all and tier list and have fun. But what would be really great, and you saw fit to bring this up, is if they just bring up a whole new game mode. Maybe where the magic key, magic box scenario doesn't exist. Because the only people who I think are really in it are like these massive whales who just don't care and don't know, and they're just enjoying spending, and then that's fine, that's okay. Or people who are needing to be very, very competitive, wanting to be in like the top 100, 200 players in Battlegrounds. And they kind of have to do this. They have to buy the magic key and the magic box because if they don't, they're just literally going to lose matches. And so I'm not necessarily boycotting over that, but it is something that would make the game significantly more fun. I see what Kabam is doing for the Omega Days pools with the Battle Room Brawl players. That looks insanely fun to me. I did a video on it. I think if something like that came to the game and it was like $15 a month, maybe even 20. I know that sounds like a lot because I want free to play to be able to take part in. So the unit cost needs to be semi-reasonable for them to build up every single month. And that's a big deal for me, and it has been for a very long time. Remember, I didn't even get Dark Phoenix. I was like, I'm sick and tired of this. This has been growing for a long time with me with what Kabam has been doing. This didn't come out of nowhere. Again, I'm not boycotting from it, but I think people would really like it. And it's a lot better for me, and it's a lot better for you. You being Kabam, but you, the players, if you, the players, are having fun. As usual, let me know what you want to see. Let me know what else is out there. I may have forgotten a few things, but I wanted to provide some big umbrella topics that we can talk about in this video, kind of let you know where we're at, what I'm hoping to see at the Battle Royale Brawl. And then in December, we'll vote. Remember, my channel members, and I'm going to be gifting 50 of them. So that way it's not just people with large disposable incomes. I'm going to be gifting 50 channel members at the first live stream of December. In fact, I lost a bet with you all, so I'm actually going to be gifting 100. And you all are going to vote. The channel members are going to vote. If the channel members vote for me to consider removing the boycott, then I'll consider it. I still have to be having fun. I still have to have the things that I want to see happen, and then we'll do it. And unfortunately, I have accepted that Kabam just doesn't respond unless we are basically telling them, "You have to." I used to hope that that wasn't the case, but I have accepted finally. It took me a long time. It took me a long time, but give me credit. I eventually got there. And so this is the thing. Let's say Kabam acts really good for 2 to 3 or 4 months, and they do a lot of things we want, and then they start to slide back to the old ways. We'll go right back to this if we need to. Me and my viewers, and that relationship will always be my priority. Let me know what you think we got right. Let me know what things got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.